Hey everyone, thanks for coming back. Today we have a virgin level 6-ish hair and we want to go to a soft sandy balayage. We want warm tones and beachiness. And here I have a couple notes for how I do my consultations. If you're a new stylist, please pause and look at this. Formula today is Schwarzkopf Blonde Me and 7 Vol because I don't need 9 levels of lift. How I'm sectioning this balayage is what really matters for today's video. That's probably going to be the thing that you're going to want to pay attention to the closest. I'm separating out her money piece so I can do that near the end because the hair in the front tends to process faster, and because it's baby hairs it tends to break faster, so I do want to leave that for last. The rest of the head around the back and sides will be done in horseshoe shaped sections so that I can maintain evenness on either side. So what I'm doing for each section is I'm doing a horseshoe that dips around the back of the head and comes back up to meet where the money piece is. And what I end up doing with that is I take whatever I'm doing on the left side, I do that immediately on the right side. And then after I go and do the back piece. And usually the back piece I'll have a little bit less blonde in it so that you can have a natural transition from the back to the front, going from less to more blonde. Also, to maintain the dimensional look in the hair, I am making my sections all slightly different in shape and size. Some of them I'll be doing weaves only, some of them I'll be doing slices only, and that's kind of what happens when you do more of a curated balayage like this. You're not trying to get the client as blonde as possible, you're still trying to leave most of her hair color in there at the root and add some low lights / drops in there because you just want to enhance her color, not take it over and make it super blonde. So even though this type of balayage seems pretty easy, what a lot of people have a hard time with is making sure that both the sides match. So I find that this type of sectioning is very, very helpful because essentially you'll be taking 3 pieces from each section, a left side, a right side, and a back of the head piece. So this does make it very easy for new stylists to make sure that everything is even and equal, because oftentimes by the time we finish the right side and move all the way over the left, we don't know where we had weaves, we don't know where we had slices, and we don't know how much blonde was put into each piece. The last section was a thicker section, so on the thicker sections I tend to do weaves so that half of it can come out and be the drop. And now this section will be a slice section so that I get a bold piece of blonde that kind of sits around this area. My client wants a very soft, natural root, so I am backcombing everything in her head, and I'm making sure that I am just doing as much blending as possible with my Power Painter brush from Framar, and that will get a really, really nice, soft, natural root, and hopefully we won't actually have to drop down any blending toners, because that's always the goal when you try to do a soft blended root. Once I've foiled high enough to come around to the top of the head, I am doing the top center as a mohawk piece, and I'm bringing all of my sections backward. I'm backcombing everything, and I'm using the pattern of slice, weave, slice, weave. The reason why I like to do a mohawk piece from time to time is it maintains some symmetry on either side of her parting, no matter wherever she parts. So if your client likes to have a hard parting, I do work horizontally up the side of the head towards the parting, but if my client moves her parting around, I like to do a mohawk piece. Also, what you may notice with this kind of foiling here is around the crown of her head and the back, I am starting my bleach from a lower place on the head, and I'm trying not to bring it up too high towards the scalp, because I want to maintain that teardrop shape around the base of her crown so she doesn't have a really big, weird line of blonde to grow out. This maintains a really low maintenance look, and it's gonna get higher and higher and closer towards the scalp the further I get towards the face. Now I'm about to do the money piece slash the front or halo or whatever everybody wants to call it. But I have edited this piece out a little bit because I didn't realize that I was standing in front of the camera the whole time. So here is what I have of the money piece. Essentially, I'm backcombing the root from a high up place and I am slicing every single piece of money piece because I want to keep as much blonde in the front as possible. But I'm not trying to make it a crazy bold piece. I'm trying to make it bold enough that it stands out from the rest of the balayage, but not so bold that it looks like a big e-girl chunk. Now I'm doing the front of the money piece by foiling from the back, and the reason why I'm doing this is I am using the heat from the mohawk section to process my money piece faster so it will catch up to the sides and everything can get taken out all at once. Here she is all foiled, and now we're just going to wait for it to finish processing. Now here's everybody's favorite part, is the foil pull in the sink. And I wanted to do this in the video so that you guys could see how much blonding goes in there and what the hair looks like when you pull out foils that have backcombing in them. It looks like a big crazy rat's nest, but if you know how to detangle backcombed foils properly, then this shouldn't take you longer than 20 minutes to detangle the whole thing. Now that she's detangled, I'm applying her toner, so here is my toner formula. Now for anybody who wants to know how to do a more beachy glam wave to the hair, this is how I style beachy waves on my clients. I separate the hair into about 3 or 4 sections depending on how thick their hair is, and I like to do horseshoe shapes. Then I take my extra long curling iron. This one is a 1-inch, and what I'm doing is I'm starting from the top of the head and I'm feeding in all of the hair towards the ends, and I'm not letting it stay into the iron that long. However, obviously this is sped up, but it's not staying in the iron very long because I don't want it to be super curly. Also, a secret to doing beach waves, everything that's behind the ear curl forward so it fills in that awkward gap of emptiness around the shoulder/ear area. Some girls don't like curly hair because they feel like it makes it shorter, which it kind of does, but the reason that I'm doing large pieces like this on the middle and bottom section is so that they don't get too curly and it elongates the curl. My most curly pieces will be the ones on the very top. The smaller and thinner your section is, the curlier the hair will be, so keep that in mind when you're curling the top. I'm alternating all of my curls, but I am keeping in mind that the front curls I always want to face towards the back. Now I'm using my favorite hairspray. It's the Spray to Mode by Bumble and Bumble. It's very flexible, and so it's great for anyone who wants curls or waves because it does provide some hold, but it's very soft. I always like to finger comb out the waves by pushing everything forward and finger combing from underneath where the ears are, and then I pull everything back and comb through that way as well. This prevents the hair from getting too wavy in one kind of pattern. It just kind of diffuses the whole look and makes it very soft. So here's her final result. She was really, really happy with this, and she can grow it out for like a year or two before she even gets another one if she wants. This is a very low maintenance balayage. It's easy, it's cute, it's summery, and it's not taking over the whole thing. She still has a lot of her natural color in there. Thanks for watching, everyone.